we've decided to install some wood flooring. You know, the stuff that you just kind of snap together and put on the floor. Okay, we're going to use this here. We're going to go right over this glue down carpet. Now, in most conditions at your home, obviously you're not going to have any glue down carpet, so you're going to have to do something else to the floor. Put some sheeting down or something. You talk to the hardware store about that and they'll steer you in the right direction. But we talked to the hardware store, and they said it would be okay to go ahead and put it right over glue down carpet. This glue down carpet is nice and tight down to the floor. There's no bubbles in it. There's no visible water damage from coming up from underneath the floor, anything like that. So we're going to use that as our cushion. On this flooring, it's got a little bit of a foam padding to it too. So we're gonna run this, and then we're going to install some baseboard. And I want you to start thinking, what would you do? All right? The tenant picked out this baseboard, and they said, "What do you think about that baseboard, Joe?" And I had a couple reservations about using this, and I'll show you why. The reasons why I had reservations about this base was not about putting base at all, but is the height of the base. I think the base needs to be a little higher, because this is what you need to consider. When you have a wood floor like this that's going up against the wall, you can't put it, you're not supposed to put it too close to the wall. In case this expands, it's going to push over, and if you have all these wood flooring snapped together, it's got to go somewhere. So it's going to go up against the wall. It can't go that way. Then your seams are going to start buckling. So on the directions of this wood flooring, it says you got to leave an approximate 3/8 of an inch gap up against the wall. They gave us some little spacers. We'll put a spacer in there. I'm not showing you how to install wood flooring today, okay? We're just talking about what would you do about this type of baseboard. All right, so this baseboard is only maybe a 1/2 inch thick at the bottom. So you see, if we put that on there, it's barely going to cover at 3/8. So see, we got that down there. Do you see how it's barely going to cover? You know, up against the wall. Obviously, this is going to have to be notched and go over there. But for our example purposes, you see, it's barely going to be covering all the way around. And in fact, if your wall's got any bow in it and you got 3/8 here, you might have more than 3/8 in the middle. So you got to look at that too. Because if you put your base on there and you push it in, you might see a gap. So see, in some places it might be tight, other places you might have a hairline gap. Well, if you got a hairline gap like that, what I usually see them do is put a quarter round next to this baseboard. And it looks really nice, but it sticks up 5/8 of an inch or so, which would mean this baseboard would look that much more squat, if you know what I mean. See this line? Your eye is naturally going to see this right here when you stand up and look at this baseboard. So it doesn't make you think the baseboard is very tall, especially if you put quarter round is called. That's going to stick up right in here or so. And your baseboard's going to shrink. So I said, okay, like that style of baseboard, that's all fine and dandy. Look at the hardware store, try to get something taller. It's always nice to make it a little bit taller, because if you got to put the quarter round down there, the baseboard's still going to look good. Okay, the taller base costs a little bit more. Here's another thing to think about. You could get by with this base and put the quarter round, and you know, if you got 8-foot ceilings in your bedroom or wherever you're going to put this flooring, okay? But if you got high ceilings, that's going to give your eye the illusion that your baseboard should be higher, should be taller. So these ceilings are 10 foot tall, and so that's another reason why I would not want to use this type of baseboard, this size of baseboard, okay? I'm talking, you know, way up there. Go to the hardware store, you'll definitely see a difference on the height-wise. Then if we have to put the quarter round, we can do that too, okay? So, what would you do here? Think about it. and make your decision.